Okay, if you can see my screen, type S in the comment box so that I'll get to know. You can see my screen. Okay, right, good. Okay, so what I'll do is, in our today's agenda, I'll just simply refresh the high level concepts of what is Salesforce, right? And after that, so I'll give you some brief of what all Salesforce products we have, and then we'll directly jump into the main concept, which is objects and applications, right? So the main concept of today, which is objects and applications. Okay, so so the reason why I want to give you brief is, I know you guys have watched the videos, but so if you have watched 1 week ago or something like that, there are chances that you could have probably forgot it or something like that. So for that reason, I'll just give a high level refresh, and then I'll jump into the main topic of today, which is objects and applications. Okay, right. So first, let's start with a simple business use case. Okay, say for example, you have a bike manufacturing company. Okay, so what do you generally do to sell those bikes? Okay, so you'll start with creating awareness in the market, right? So that people will get to know that so you have some sort of bikes. Okay, so you are manufacturing electric bikes, and you're manufacturing scooters, you're manufacturing sports bikes and adventure bikes and all of that. So what you'll do, you'll go to the market, and then you'll so run some kind of TV ads, newspaper ads, radio ads, or digital ads. Okay, so this is what we call generally as marketing. Okay, so now people will see these ads, and then they'll get to know about your products, and then they'll reach out to you, right? So then what do you do? Okay, so once they reach out to you, so you'll try to convince them to purchase your product. Okay, so it is not just simply like you'll try to convince them. So they'll come up with different kind of questions, like, so what is the cost of this bike, and so how much mileage this bike would give us, and some kind of questions, right? So they'll have in their mind, so they'll come up with all of those questions, and you'll answer all their questions, and then probably you'll convert them, right? So, and it's not that all of them will become your customers. Eventually some of them will become your customers. Okay, so that process we generally call it as sales. Okay, so in sales, what you do, you'll negotiate and you'll nurture the customer. Okay, so some people have become your customers, right? So it doesn't just stop after selling, right? So you have to, so these people will start riding those bikes, and so they'll definitely come up with some kind of issues like punctures, or some kind of repair issues, or some kind of servicing requirements and all of that. So they'll reach out to you. Okay, so then what do you do? So as a business owner, or maybe as a bike manufacturer, you generally help these customers in resolving whatever issues that they're facing with their bikes. Okay, so we generally call this as customer service. Okay, so what do you do in customer service? You'll resolve their issues. Okay, so these are the three major core functions that any business will have, so which is marketing, sales, and customer service. Okay, so since you are running your business, okay, so if you have somewhere around 100 or 150 or 200 customers, it'll be easy for you to manage all of the customer information, like manage all the customer interactions and what kind of customer issues they're coming up with, and all of that in a small Excel, or in a small book or something like that. But say for example, if you're having hundreds and hundreds of customers, like in multiples of hundreds of customers, like 300, 500, or 1000 or 2000 customers or something like that, do you really think it is easy to manage all the customers and interactions, and so all the data in an Excel or a book? So it won't be possible, right? So you won't be able to handle all of that customer data in a small Excel or a book. So definitely you would need a kind of software which could help you to manage the customer life cycle of to manage the customer life cycle. Okay, so that is what we call it as a CRM. Okay, so CRM stands for customer relationship management. Okay, what is CRM? Any software, right, that helps you manage the customer life cycle of a business can be considered as a CRM. Okay, so I mean, like, so for CRM, there are hell number of definitions, but this is a simple definition that you can simply remember. Okay, any software that helps you manage the customer life cycle of a business can be considered as a CRM, right? So so what all things you'll have in a CRM, right? So I mean, like, as I told you, so it'll help, it should help you to manage your sales life cycle, to, you know, to run different kind of marketing campaigns, like, you know, promotions, or maybe, you know, sending the customer about different you know, promotions, or any kind of communication, I would say, email, SMS, WhatsApp, or whatever it would be, right? So those kind of communications, it should help you to send it to your customers, and at the same time, so it should help you to manage you know, so your sales life cycle in an efficient manner. At the same time, it should help you in you know, resolving your customer issues in a proper efficient way, right? And you can track payments and all of the stuff, right? And you can track information related to your customers, you know, from which location they came from, and, you know, so what is their purchasing power, and you know, so many, I mean, like, much more information. I mean, whatever information you feel that is relevant for your business to track from the customer's end, you can track all of that information as well. Okay, so that is what a CRM is all about. Okay, so what is Salesforce generally? Okay, Salesforce is world's #1 CRM. Okay, so, and if you look at the industry standards, the overall market share that Salesforce is holding is more than 22%, right? So even if you you know, bring all the other CRM players together, and if you compare their whole, I mean, like, so their market share with the overall market share that what Salesforce is holding, I mean, like, so all together, right? So Salesforce market share is more than these players, right? So that big Salesforce is, right? So now let's see what all Salesforce products we have. Okay, so let's see what all Salesforce products we have. Okay, so generally Salesforce has all these core functions, you know, so covered in its CRM, right? In its suite of CRM. So what are the core functions that any business has? Like, as I told you, sales, marketing, and customer service, right? So Salesforce has products for sales, marketing, and service, and along with that, it has many other products that revolve around that particular you know, business, right? So in Salesforce, we do have two types of products. Okay, so the products that are built on top of Salesforce platform, and the products, right, so the external products, okay, so that are you know, connected very well with Salesforce, and you know, so and they're standalone products generally. Okay, so the connected apps are like standalone products, they're external products, but they'll work seamlessly with Salesforce. Okay, they are also Salesforce products, but you know, so Salesforce has acquired these companies, and then you know, it has integrated you know, Salesforce with these external products, right, to help the businesses in managing their customer life cycle, as I just told you. Okay, so it is not just sales, marketing, and customer service, right? So business will have a lot of other things, you know, so that needs to be looked after, right? So Salesforce has brought in, I mean, like, Salesforce has acquired many products in order to help the businesses in handling those other core functions as well, apart from marketing, sales, and service. Okay, so now let's see the products that were built on Salesforce platform, right? So Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and Industries Cloud. Okay, Sales Cloud is a product which helps companies to sell in an effective way. Service Cloud is a product which helps the companies to service the customers in an efficient way. And the same way, you know, so we do have something called Industries Cloud. Okay, so generally, what this industries is like, you know, see, in real world, in the real business world, so we do have different types of industries, right? So I mean, like, if you look at the previous bike manufacturing example, so that is from the automotive, or I mean, like, so automotive industry, right? So that means, so the automotive industry will have a different set of requirements altogether. So the core functions will remain the same for any business, but the way their business operates will be entirely different when compared to the way an educational institution operates, right? Or the way some kind of telecom operator works, right? So each and every business has its own set of requirements. So for that purpose, what Salesforce has done is it has built a different series of different type of products which could cater to the needs of different industries. Okay, so along with the Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, so so there is another product which is called Industries that was built on top of Salesforce platform. Okay, so this is not an external product. This was built within the Salesforce platform itself, right? So let's see what all products that Industries Cloud has to offer. Okay, so there is a product named Financial Services Cloud. Okay, so this generally banks uses this particular product from Salesforce. And there is a product called Health Cloud. Okay, so healthcare and life sciences businesses use this healthcare product. Okay, so there is a product called Manufacturing Cloud, right? So generally the manufacturing companies use this Manufacturing Cloud. Okay, so there is a product called Automotive Cloud. So this product generally is used by so automotive industry. So automotive industry means like bike manufacturing, car manufacturing, and all other type of companies, right? So education industry companies coming, or the organizations that are coming from education industry can use Education Cloud, right? So the same way, there are multiple products that is Salesforce offering from industry side. Okay, so you don't need to know each and every product of Salesforce, but these products were built on top of Salesforce platform, as I told you, right? So the beauty of Salesforce platform is, like, you can build your own app on top of Salesforce platform. It is not just that you have to use these products. You can build your own product. You can build your own Sales Cloud if you want. Okay, you can build your own Service Cloud if you want. Okay, you can build any of these apps if you want. If you feel like you need a separate, you have a separate requirement, you need entirely a separate application, you can build that application from scratch. Okay, so that is the beauty of Salesforce platform. Okay, so right, so so there are few other products that you should be aware of. Okay, which is Experience Cloud, CRM Analytics, and Einstein. Okay, so this Experience Cloud, CRM Analytics, and Einstein are the products that run on top of all the Salesforce products, right? On top of the Salesforce platform, right? Whatever products that you're building in Salesforce, building on Salesforce platform. So these Experience Cloud, CRM Analytics, and the Einstein product will have access to all of the data that is being generated within all the applications that you are building on the Salesforce platform, either Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Industries clouds. And along with that, if you are building any custom app, right, so that custom apps data also can be accessed through this Experience Cloud, CRM Analytics, and the Einstein product. Okay, so what is this Experience Cloud? I'll just give you a simple example so that you'll be able to understand, right? So see, so who will use Salesforce generally? Okay, so businesses use Salesforce. That means the people who are working in a business can use Salesforce, right? It is not that so like Gmail and Facebook and all other stuff, it is not that anyone who want to have access to that particular application can just simply come and sign up and use it. It is not like that, right? So generally Salesforce is used by businesses. That means the people who are working in the businesses will use this product, right? So that means who will have access to all of this data? This is sales data, service data, and the customer Marketing Cloud data, or whatever it could be, right? So who will have access to? Only the internal customers, right? The internal business users. Okay, sometimes your customers also may need access to the data related only only for that particular customer, right? So say for example, I'm a customer of the that bike manufacturing company. Okay, so what I would need is I would need an interface where I can see, so what bike I have purchased, and so far how many times I have went for bike servicing, and so what all other products that I've purchased from that particular bike manufacturing company, like maybe a helmet, or maybe gloves, or maybe some other thing, right? So I want to track all of that, and I want to see the all history of my purchases, my information, and all other stuff. So that means for business, I'm a customer, but for the end business user, if you look at from the software perspective, so that customer is like an external user. Okay, so he's not part of the Salesforce user, like so the internal users who can access that Salesforce. He's an external user. I'm an external user. Okay, from the Salesforce standpoint, I'm an external user. I want to access the data. So then how I can access that particular data? Okay, so Salesforce has created one product called Experience Cloud, and using this Experience Cloud, businesses can create different portals. Okay, like customer portal, they can create a customer portal, and using that customer portal, they can give access to the data of Salesforce, right, to the external users. Okay, and the same way, businesses can create partner portals. Partner portals means sometimes businesses cannot sell on their own. Okay, they would need help of some external vendors. Okay, so in automotive industry, so businesses, I'm like, manufacturing, bike manufacturing companies generally will have dealers. Okay, so who will set up showrooms across each and every location, right? So I mean, so they have to work, businesses have to work with those dealers in order to sell more bikes, right? So that means those dealers also would need access to their data, like how many customers they have sold for that particular month, right? So, or maybe how much business they have generated for the this bike manufacturing company, or something like that. So they are also external users. Okay, they are not directly part of the business internal users, like sales people, the customer service people, and all of that. So they are not directly the internal people. They are external people, right? So they would also need access to their data, right? So in that case, you can create partner portal, right? So these kind of portals you can create using Experience Cloud. Either you can create public sites, or you can create customer sites, or maybe you can create partner sites, and many more things, right? So whatever data that is there in the Salesforce platform, so you can provide access to that particular Salesforce data to the external users with the help of Experience Cloud. Okay, so this is what this Experience Cloud is all about. Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, so as I just told you, if you want to give data to the access to the external users, data access, which data? The whole Salesforce platform's data. Okay, okay, so you can use that, you can do that using Experience Cloud. Okay, so like what, you can create customer portals, as I just told you. Okay, and then what, partner portals. Okay, and then what more, public sites. So anything you can do using this Experience Cloud. But how about this platform's data? Okay, so I mean, like, so how about this platform? So generally, so internal users will have access to the platform. Okay, who will have access to the platform? Internal users. Who are those internal users? Those internal users would be sales guys. Okay, the same way customer support guys. Okay, so the same way they could be IT people, or any people, actually anyone who is working from inside the business. So these are the internal users. Anyone who are so from the outside of the business, they are like external users. Okay. So internal users will anyway have access to, any of these clouds based on the type of licenses that the business has purchased. But, using this experience cloud, you can give access to the external users. Okay. So the same way, there is another product called CRM analytics. Okay. So generally, so what you'll do, I mean, like, so if your business is growing, you will generate a lot of data, right? So you'll have your customers' data and all other stuff, right? So if you have if you have a lot of data, then definitely you would need some kind of a tool which could help you to analyze the data, right? So what is the purpose of analyzing the data? So that you will get to know how your business is performing and where all areas your business is lacking, and so that you can improve your business. Okay. So for that reason, so we do have a product called CRM analytics. Okay. So using the CRM analytics, what you can do, you can analyze, right, data, okay, from the whole Salesforce platform. Like whatever data that is generated on the whole Salesforce platform, you can analyze all of the data. So whether that is generated in Sales Cloud or Service Cloud or Industries Cloud or any custom application that you have built. Okay. So you can build any custom application, right? As I said, on top of the Salesforce platform. So even this Experience Cloud also can access the data from the custom application, and this CRM analytics also can access the custom application data. Okay. So the same way, there is another product called Einstein. Okay. This is an AA product, artificial intelligence product from Salesforce. Okay. Using this product, you can find next best actions. Like, so probably you can forecast, like, how much business, how much revenue, okay, how much revenue your business can generate in the next quarter, could generate, how much revenue your business could generate in the next quarter. Okay. Okay, so these kind of things you can do using Einstein product. Okay, how how what can I say? Within how much time a case could probably can get closed. Okay, so these type of things you can identify using CRM analytics. Okay, is it clear, or do you have any questions so far? Is it clear, or do you have any questions so far? If it's clear, just type as in the comment box, so that I'll get to know, okay, it is very clear for you people. Okay, so now let's see what all external products that we do have from Salesforce. Okay, we do call them as connected apps. In the technical terminology, we call them as connected apps. So we do have something called Marketing Cloud. So this Marketing Cloud is a product which would help you to market to your customers, okay, or your prospective customers or your existing customers. Marketing, so this is an omni-channel communication platform, I would say, in a simple terms. That means you can send email messages, you can send text messages, you can send WhatsApp messages, and you can create different type of journeys and all together, journeys and many more things. Journeys means, what can I say, customer came into your platform, right? So someone said he is interested to buy your product, but he didn't purchase your product. What you can do is you can send him series of emails. First, you can send him, so why, you have registered, you have expressed your interest towards purchasing this product, but it seems like, so we haven't heard from you since long back. So can we know a reason for that, or do you want to talk to someone, right? So these kind of emails, right? So we'll see whether he has opened that email for a day or something like that. So if he didn't open that email, then we'll send another email, right? So if you opened that email but didn't respond it, then we can send another email. Okay, these type of different series of communications we can send using Marketing Cloud, right? So it is not just that, you can send only emails, you can send different communications as well. Okay, and the best part is you can run advertising campaigns also using Marketing Cloud, right? So advertising campaigns on Facebook and Google and all other stuff. Okay, so there is another product called Marketing Cloud Account Engagement, which is also called as Pardot. So this is part of the Marketing Cloud product, right? So this Marketing Cloud is a product which is used by B2C businesses. B2C businesses means businesses that are directly selling to the customers. Okay, so the end consumers, like individuals, businesses that are directly selling to the individuals. So we call them as B2C businesses, like, so if you see, let me give an example. Okay, if you see any kind of e-commerce stores, okay, so what do they generally do? They generally sell their product to the individuals like you, me, and any people. Okay, so those businesses, we call them as B2C businesses. Okay, so this marketing cloud product is used by B2C businesses. This marketing cloud account engagement is a product which is used by B2B businesses. What are B2B businesses? If business is doing business with another business, then we call them as B2B businesses. Okay, so example for B2B businesses is like Salesforce. Salesforce is the best example for B2B businesses. That means what generally Salesforce do? Salesforce sell its products to businesses. What kind of products? It's CRM product. It will sell its CRM product to different businesses. In this case, the customer is business. Okay, in B2C case, the customer is individual. Okay, so that is the difference between B2C and B2B. So in B2B, so for B2B businesses, mostly they'll use marketing cloud account engagement as a marketing product, right, instead of marketing cloud. The same way, Tableau is an extension of CRM analytics, you can say. Okay, so it will help the business to run different kind of data simulations and all of that, right? So MuleSoft is a product which will help any business to connect, not connect their Salesforce application with external applications. Okay, so see, if you are running a business, means it is not that you'll use only Salesforce. You'll have hell lot of applications. Your business will definitely use many other applications also. Sometimes these applications need to communicate with the data that is there in your Salesforce. Okay, in that case, you would need to integrate your Salesforce to other applications. How would you do that? You can do that with the help of MuleSoft. Okay, MuleSoft will help you to connect your Salesforce to other applications. Okay, and there is another product called Slack. Slack is a business communication platform, like how we generally communicate within ourselves, like on WhatsApp or not Telegram and all of that. So it is like a personal messaging communication app, but Slack is like a business communication messaging app. Okay, so wherein so your business can create different teams and different departments and all of all of them, and they can add individual members into those teams, so that teams can have, so all the people of a particular department can have the conversations within their group, or the same way, so some person from that company can send messages to another person from the same company, so within that particular app. And along with that, so you can collaborate on the data that is there in Salesforce, like so some sales guy is working on one of the customers product, or so one of the on converting one of the interested prospect into a customer. Okay, so he may need help of another sales guy to close that particular deal. So then how we can work on that? Because then just he probably can bring that record into the Slack, and he can mention that other sales guy, so that the other sales guy can just simply click on that record and go back to Salesforce and see what kind of conversation is happening and all of that, right? So it is like a collaborative platform which could help you to collaborate on top of Salesforce as well, right? So that is the beauty of Slack. And there is another product called Commerce Cloud. So this product will be used by the companies. Generally, if you are an e-commerce company, so this Commerce Cloud will help you to create any kind of e-commerce stores and all of that. Okay, if you are, if you can build portals like Flipkart, Amazon, and all other things using Commerce Cloud product of Salesforce, right? So these are the products of Salesforce. This is the high level landscape of the Salesforce products. Okay, so now let's look at the three major things that Salesforce you should be aware of the Salesforce platform. Okay, so let me show you what all those things are. Okay, first one is Salesforce multi-tenant. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay, Salesforce's multi-tenant cloud architecture. I'll tell you what this multi-tenant cloud architecture is. Okay, so this is the first thing that you should know about Salesforce. Okay, so what is multi-tenant cloud architecture? I'll tell you. Okay, so generally, let's consider an apartment building. Okay, so if you consider an apartment building, what will happen? I mean, so what will you have? You will have, individual flats, right? In each and every floor, you will have individual flats. Okay, you'll have individual flats, and so all these flats will share some common resources, right? So common resources like what? Electricity, right? Lifts, corridors. Okay, so and many more, right? So these like water connectivity. Okay, so if you take an apartment, so you'll have electricity, lifts, corridors, and water connectivity as a common thing for all these apartments, right? So this for all these flats. Okay, say for example, this is flat 1, flat 2, flat 3, and flat 4, and all of that. So all these flats will have this resources as a common resources, but the same way, but at the same time, these flats will have their own dedicated space as well, right? So this guy can have his own interior design, right? So this another flat can have their own set of stuff within their home, right? So I mean, like, so within this apartment, each and every one will have their own dedicated space. At the same time, they'll be sharing the common resources like electricity, lifts, corridors, water connectivity, and all of that, right? The same kind of thing Salesforce also follows. Okay, so that is what we call it as multi-tenant cloud architecture. That means what will happen is, okay, so Salesforce will store all of its data, okay, so in a shared environment. Okay, shared environment. That means, okay, so your business and so many other businesses that are using Salesforce will stay in a single instance. Okay, we call this as instance. Okay, so let's consider this instance as an apartment. Okay, so Salesforce instance will have up to 10,000 customer orgs. Okay, it will store up to 10,000 customer orgs. So that means, so each and every org, Salesforce org, will have their own dedicated space, but at the same time, they will share resources like, the computing power and all of that stuff. Okay, so they'll share resources like computing power and all of that. I mean, like, so whether you are a big business, okay, very big business, or whether you are a small business, you will have the same kind of facilities. Okay, so if we call these things as facilities in our apartment example, okay, the same kind of facilities each and every business that is sharing a particular instance will have, whether you are a multi-billion-dollar business or you are just a simple startup, or so who have 1,000 customers. So both of them will have same computing power and the same kind of resources that are shared between those businesses, but they'll have their dedicated space available within that particular instance. That means, whatever they want to create within their own Salesforce or they can create their own stuff, but still they'll share the same kind of common resources that are available for all other businesses, right? Like how do we have electricity, lifts, corridors, and water connectivity as a common thing for all these flats. The same way, all these businesses will also have the same kind of computing power, right? But they can create whatever they want to create within their business, within their Salesforce org for that particular business. Like how we can have different type of interiors in each and every individual flat. Okay, so at the skeleton level, all the flats may look similar, but if you go to each and every flat, So every flat is like, will have a different set of ambience, and they'll have their own set of interiors design, right? So you may feel like each and every house is different if you go to each and every individual flat, because of the interiors that they could have done within their flat. The same way, even though all the businesses in a particular instance share the same kind of resources, they can have their own set of customizations built within their own Salesforce, right? So this is how Salesforce have its architecture. So that is the reason why we call this as multi-tenant cloud architecture. Okay, Salesforce follows a multi-tenant cloud architecture wherein all the Salesforce customers will share the same resources, but they can build their own set of functionality within their own Salesforce org. Okay, so this is one of the major things that you should know about the Salesforce platform. Okay, and the second thing is Salesforce follows metadata driven development. Okay, application development, metadata driven application development. I'll tell you what exactly this is. Okay, so you are clear about that multi-tenant cloud architecture, right? Or if you have any questions, if you are clear about it, just simply type yes, or maybe you can just simply type clear in the comment box so that I get to know that you're able to understand. Shweta said yes. Okay, right. So I believe all other people also. Okay, clear. Nikhil and Pavitra. Okay, it's clear. Okay, good, guys. Okay, so then we do have something called metadata driven application development. Okay, so this is what Salesforce follows. Okay, so I'll tell you what exactly this is. So say for example, so how do we generally store data into any database? Okay, so we generally store data into database through tables, right? Okay, say for example, we want to store student information. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing student is because student table, because is, I mean, we can easily relate to it and we can easily understand that, right? So how do you store it? I mean, like you'll store the serial number, and then you'll store like the name of the student, okay, and the class which he belongs to, and the roll number of the student, right, and the age of the student or something like that, right? So this way you'll store data into any database. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, so the name could be Ishwar, right, Pavitra, okay, or Sweta, right? They can be class of 1 2 3, roll number of 1 2 3, age of 10 15 20 or something like that. Okay, so this is how we generally store data into a database. Okay, so the rows that what we are seeing here, so we call this as data, like this Ishwar, Pavitra, Sweta and all, we call this as data. But what about the serial number, name, class, roll number and age? Okay, so these are the attributes that we want to track for each and every individual, so that individual's information that we are storing here. Okay, so that means so this is what we call it as a metadata. So metadata is nothing but data about data. What is it? Data about data. Okay, so this Ishwar, Pavitra and Shweta is data, but the serial number, name, class, roll number, age and all other things are like the data points that we want to collect for each and every individual data that we are collecting. So that means this serial number, name, class, roll number and age, we call it as data about data. Okay, so this is what we call it as a metadata. So what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but data about data, right? So now Salesforce follows this particular application development architecture, I would say. So what happens, right? So whatever you create in Salesforce, it will get stored as a metadata. Okay, so whatever you create means I'm not talking about the data. Whatever functionality that you create in Salesforce, like creating an object, okay, or creating a field within an object, or maybe creating a particular functionality to meet your business requirements or something like that. So whatever you are creating, so all of that gets stored as metadata. Okay, all the functionalities or all the configurations that you are doing within your Salesforce org for your business, all of that gets stored as metadata. Okay, so but whatever information that you're storing into your Salesforce org, that is entirely different. That is data. Okay, but whatever functionality that you are building, that we call it as metadata. Okay, so the beauty of metadata is each and every business will have its own set of metadata, right? So that means, let me clear all these drawings. Okay, that means, okay, so within the multi-tenant cloud, okay, within the multi-tenant cloud, so even though you have hundreds of Salesforce orgs, okay, for each and every business, okay, like this Salesforce org 1, Salesforce org 2, Salesforce org 3, Salesforce org 4, or something like that. Okay, so each and every org can have its own set of metadata. Okay, okay, under this metadata, so whatever type of data they want to store, they can store all of the data, but each and every org can have its own metadata, so that what they can do is, I mean, like, whatever functionality that they have built, if they want to migrate that functionality to another Salesforce, they can just simply migrate that overall functionality by packaging all of this metadata into a single package or something like that. Okay, you can package all of this metadata, and you can take that package, and if you want to migrate this Salesforce data into some other Salesforce org or something like that, so you can take the advantage of this particular metadata. Okay, so that is the reason why we call this as metadata driven application development, right? So in generally, what do we do? I mean, like, so we don't just simply go and develop our functionality in the production org. I'll tell you what is the production org. Okay, so your business is using Salesforce. Okay, your business is using Salesforce. Okay, so you have 100 users in this particular Salesforce org. They're already using this Salesforce. Okay, you want to implement a new functionality. Then what do you do? So do you think you can directly just simply come into the Salesforce org and implement whatever things that you want to implement? You cannot do that, right? I'll tell you why. Why? Because if you implement anything directly within this particular org, then what will happen is, if something breaks down, these 100 users will face the issue, and because of that particular issue, your business will get stopped. If that issue, I mean, like, if you're not able to solve that issue for 2 days or 3 days, then what will happen? So you'll lose all of your business for those 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. Okay, it will bring a lot of losses for your business. So for that reason, what Salesforce has done is, I mean, like, so whenever you purchase a Salesforce license from them, they'll give you some another license called sandbox licenses as well. Okay, so the sandbox is nothing but, so it will look like the same, the Salesforce that what your 100 users are using, but it will not, I mean, like, so this is not used by your sales, I mean, like, your business users. Okay, it is not used by your business users. Okay, it is used for application development. Okay, it is used for application development or any kind of configurations that you want to do. Okay, so say for example, you have received a requirement from the business, then what you will do is, first you will build that functionality within the sandbox. Okay, you'll build all of that functionality within the sandbox, and once that functionality is built, okay, you'll test it. Okay, so you'll test that functionality. Once the testing is done, then what you'll do is, as I just told you, okay, Salesforce follows a metadata driven application architecture, right? So because of the application development model, right? So because of that reason, what you can do is, so whatever functionality that you have built, okay, so you can package all of that functionality. You can package all of that functionality. You can bring all of that metadata, and you can package all of that metadata into the single functionality, and then you can deploy that package. You can deploy that package into the Salesforce org. Okay, you can deploy this package into the major, so the main Salesforce org that your business users are using. So since you have tested it, it will work fine. So that once you deploy that package into your main Salesforce org, we do call that main Salesforce org as production org. Okay. So once you deploy that into the production org, what will happen? So that functionality will be available for your end users and they can start using that particular functionality. Okay. So this is what we call it as metadata driven application development. So that means, so whatever functionality that you want to build, you'll build that functionality in sandbox first. Okay. In sandbox first, and you'll package all of, so whatever the functionality that you have built, right? So you'll package that using metadata. Okay. And then you'll deploy the package into the production org. Okay. So that is the reason why we call, we call that, Salesforce follows the metadata driven application development model. Okay. Is it clear, or do you have any questions? If it's clear, type clear in the comment box. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask me the question so that I can answer, whatever questions that you have. Sweta said yes. Pavitra. Okay, Nikhil.
Ishwara, I have one question, Ishwara.
Yeah, yes, please go ahead, Nikhil. Yeah.
As we are calling metadata as implemented functionalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we also call like existing data as metadata, or like only new implemented functionalities come under metadata?
Existing, yeah, so everything we call it as a metadata. So existing functionalities also we'll call it as a metadata, Nikhil. Right. So so maybe you're coming from a standpoint where the account object, the lead object, and opportunity objects that we do have in the Salesforce, right? So we call the so the data, the metadata, the existing functionality that is already there in our Salesforce also as metadata. Yeah, that is also called as metadata. But you cannot package the standard functionality to deploy that into another org. Why? Because that functionality is already available in the other orgs. Okay, you don't need to again create that functionality. For that reason, you don't need to include that into any of the packages that you are building.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yeah,
right. But that is also metadata. So yeah. So guys, so you'll get to know that once we start, understanding what is an object and what is an application and all of that. So once we started working on that, then you'll get to understand what exactly, Nikhil has asked. Okay, so I'll bring this up once again and I'll explain you what exactly he asked, and so I'll clarify that. So clear all drawings. Okay, that's fine. Now, and the third one is APIs. Okay, and the third one is APIs. So this is also one of the important things that you should be aware of. Okay. The third most important thing, related to Salesforce platform is APIs. Okay, what are APIs? Okay, so let me give you a small example. Okay, so you have your laptop. Okay, you have your laptop, and what you have done is you have connected your laptop to a phone. Okay, so then what will happen? So your laptop will be able to access all the files that are there on your phone, right? So it will be able to access all the files that are there in your phone. So does this laptop really know how your phone works? Does your laptop really knows how your phone works? No, it doesn't need to know how the phone works, right? So what all things that are there in this phone and all of that, your laptop doesn't need to know. Okay, but still it can able to access the data that is there in your phone. Okay, so this is what we call it as an API. Okay, so how laptop is able to access the data from your phone is through APIs. Okay, so API, the full form of API is application programming interface. Okay, so the advantage of application programming interface is, okay, so if you want to connect any application, any software application, right? Any software application with another software application, okay? With another software application, we use APIs, okay? We use application programming interfaces. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly this is. You'll get to know in a more detail, okay? So we call this as an application programming interface. Okay, so see, if you look at this laptop and the phone example, so laptop doesn't need to know how exactly the phone works, but it can still access the data from the phone with the help of APIs. The same way, okay, so if you, I mean, like, so in generally in market, you'll have hundreds of applications, okay? So if one application needs to talk to another application, right, to send some data or maybe to extract some data or something like that, so all it needs is API, okay? So in order to access the data from this software application, right, and do some kind of activity in this software application to pull the data from this application and do some sort of analysis or some other thing within this application don't need to know how this software application is built, okay? So what all things that are there in the software application and all of that, so this application don't need to know about all of that, okay? So if it has a simple API, okay, so it can just simply use that API and do whatever kind of action or whatever kind of activity that this application want to do. Using that particular API, it can perform that particular activity, okay? So I'm like, so this is the this is what we call it as an application programming interface based communication between applications, right? So the same thing Salesforce platform also follows. So you'll have hundreds of applications in Salesforce, right? So so the applications that are given by default from Salesforce end, at the same time, the applications that you are building on your own, okay? So we call them as custom applications. The custom applications that you are building on your own, okay? So whatever applications that you are having on your Salesforce, so sometimes you may need, so your Salesforce to have a connection with some kind of external applications, wherein external applications can access your data, or maybe you need access to data from external applications so that you can perform some kind of actions within your Salesforce, right? So in that case, how you will connect your Salesforce to external applications? Using APIs. Okay, so using APIs, you can connect your Salesforce to any other external applications. Okay, so within the Salesforce platform, APIs is also one of the major things on top of which this whole Salesforce is built. Okay, so for every metadata or for every functionality that you create, okay, for every functionality that you create, Salesforce creates an API. Salesforce creates an API in the background, so that if you want to access that particular metadata or data related to that particular metadata in any of the external applications, you can use that API and then you can just simply access data from the Salesforce. Okay, so that is the beauty of APIs. So do you have any questions here? I believe you'll definitely have question here. So do you have any question here? If not, I'll go to the next concept. Okay, so if it's clear, type clear in the comment box. I will not ask this again and again. So if it's clear, guys, type clear in the comment box, so that clear or S in the comment box, so that I'll get to know that you are able to understand. Otherwise, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. Pavitra says clear. Since we have only 3 people, so I want to see, so these messages from all of you people. So I want you people to, understand these concepts very, very well, right? So, okay, Sweta said yes. Nikhil, how about you? Okay, so can you ask this?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Do we API
Do we
only
use
in
API only in development, or like does it also comes in any admin?
Yeah, yes. I mean, like, so you should know about these APIs generally, Nikhil. I mean, so even as an administrator, also you'll use APIs. So most of the times we are not aware of it, but we do use APIs in admin also. Okay, so I'll show you that also, right?
Oh.
So that you'll get to know where exactly you need to find those APIs and all of that. But most of the times we use it in the development, where when we want to connect Salesforce with external applications. So in our company, okay, if you look at the Gus thing, so what we are generally doing, so we are connecting Salesforce with Zoom, Salesforce with GoToWebinar and other applications, right, using Zapier. So what generally Zapier do? Okay, Zapier will use Salesforce APIs, and at the same way, Salesforce Zapier will use Zoom and other applications APIs, and it will pull data from those applications, and it will send data from that Zapier to Salesforce also, and it will pull data from Salesforce and process whatever the process that needs to be done within the Zapier, and it will push that data to the another application, right? So how the Zapier is connecting these two applications with the help of APIs only. Okay, so you are using Zapier on your day-to-day basis, but do you know how what things are how things are moving in the background? So that all those things are happening only because of the APIs. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Oh,
Yeah, yes, Sweta.
you said Salesforce creates APIs or it just uses the API?
It creates APIs by default, Sweta. Sweta
Okay,
or Pavitra, who asked this question?
Shweta.
Oh, correct. Sales, see, for I'm like, most of the times, I mean, like, so it will automatically create the APIs. And sometimes, I mean, like, sometimes you may need entirely a different type of API, or a different type of data that the external system needs. Okay, and at that point in time, whatever APIs that are available in our Salesforce may not be sufficient. In that case, we'll create new APIs. Okay, so that we can provide that API to the external application vendor or whoever is working on that external application, so that they can consume that API and they can pull that data in whichever way they want to pull from our Salesforce. So Salesforce will have standard APIs, and Salesforce can, I mean, we can create custom APIs also on top of Salesforce, right? So that is what it is. Clear? Or do you have any questions? Or you still have any question, Sweta? Okay, good. Right. So yeah, so Salesforce follows, as I just told you, Salesforce follows what? API driven architecture as well. Okay, so these three are the things that you should keep in mind. Okay, so one is multi-tenant. Okay, second one is metadata driven multi-tenant cloud architecture, metadata driven development, and the third one is APIs. Okay, so these three are the things that you should keep in mind. Okay, next. Salesforce follows MVC framework. Okay, so I'm like, so this is something every web application follows in the today's web world, Web 2 world. But yeah, so it is better to understand what is MVC framework. Okay, so see, so MVC means model view controller framework. Okay, model view controller framework. So model means whatever data that we need to store, that we want to store in any of the software applications. So we will store that in the model. Okay, so model is nothing but database. Okay, so and then view is like, so whatever functionality that your application, I mean, so whatever functionality that you want your end users to be having access or something like that, so that we call it as view. So say, for example, if you look at Facebook, okay, so if you look at Facebook, do you really know how the data is stored in the backend and all of that? You don't really know all of that, right? So what you'll do is you'll just simply go there, and if you want to post something, you'll just post it from there. And if you want to, like someone's post or something like that, you'll just simply go there and like it. Okay, so you don't know what's happening in the background generally. Okay, so that is what view is all about. View is like, the UI part. Okay, the user interface that the users generally see, so that we call it as view. Okay, so and the controller is nothing but, so when you click on like, what should happen? Okay, when you click on like on the UI, so that should be tracked in the database. Okay, that should be tracked in the database. This controller will communicate between your view and model. View is UI and database. So model is like database. Database is like, backend, you can call it. Okay, you can call it the backend. Okay, so you'll have the backend and the front end. Okay, let's call this as a front end. UI can be called as the front end. Okay, so now what happens? So front end is visible for the end users. Front end is visible for the end users. Okay, they don't know what's happening in the background. Okay, so this controller is something which communicates between this UI and the database. Okay, so if you are liking a post on Facebook, then what happens? This controller will identify that and it will pass on that information to the database and it will store that like in the database. Okay, the same way you are posting something from the UI. Okay, so what this controller will do, this controller will capture that information and it will take that information and it will store that in the database. Right, the same way, so you'll click on load more. Okay, so say for example, if you're going in, if you go to any of the groups that are there in Facebook, and if you go to the member section, you'll only see 10 members or 15 members in so over there. And if you want to see all the members who are there in that particular group, you'll click on load more or something like that. The moment you click on load more, what will happen? So again, this controller will send that communication, like, so the user has clicked load more on the UI. So you have to give, few more users details back to the UI. So that is what this controller will say. And database will listen to that and it will send some more, user records. And then this controller will pass those user records to the view and view will display all those user records, right? So all those users, you can say all those users in the Facebook member section. Okay, so this so whoever is using this UI, so he'll not know what's he need not to know what's happening in the background, but so this controller will do all the kind of activity and whatever data that we have, we store it in the model. Okay, so any software application follows this. So wherein the model is the database and the view is the UI and the controller is the business logic that you have written. Okay, business logic that you have written to communicate between the view and the model. Okay, so Salesforce also follows this MVC framework, wherein the view is the interface that you are seeing, that you generally see on SF, right? And the controller is like, the logic that you write on Salesforce. Okay, so most of the times you write it using Apex, or you do that using some kind of configuration functionality like flows and all other stuff as well. Okay, so we'll learn all of these things, okay, going further. Okay, and so the same way the UI. So for the UI part, we do have something called Lightning. Okay, Lightning platform. Pardon with my writing. Okay, Lightning platform. Okay, so within this platform, Salesforce built all of its UI on top of Lightning platform. Okay, so whatever standard UI that you're seeing, so that was built on top of Lightning platform. And along with that, if you want to build any of the custom UIs, okay, you want to have some sort of your own views and all of that, some user interface and all of that, so you can build on top of this Lightning platform using Lightning web components and Aura, Lightning Aura components. Okay, so this is another proprietary UI technology that Salesforce has. Okay, let me clear all of this. Okay, so MVC, right? So let's call this. Okay, so in view, Salesforce has Lightning platform. Okay, and Salesforce has different technologies like LWC, Aura. Okay, so using this Aura or LWC, you can build your own custom user interface UI as well. But Salesforce has some standard UI also, so that UI is also built on top of Aura and LWC. The same way controller. Okay, so using Apex. Okay, Salesforce has its own proprietary language which is called as Apex. Using Apex, you can write any business logic that you want to have. So which with the help of Apex, you can communicate with the UI and the database that we do have in the background. Okay, so we do have something called Apex, and the same way you can use flows and all other things. So these are like the point and click configuration tools that are available from the Salesforce end. Using this also, you can, create business logic. Using this also, you can create business logic. And there is another thing which is called as model. Okay, so model is nothing but database, right? So there is a database where Salesforce stores all of its data, right? So the data the customers are inputting and the data that customers want to see and all of that, right? So that is stored in in objects. Okay, that is stored in objects. Okay, so these are the things that we'll learn going forward. So we'll learn how to create objects and how to create fields and all of that stuff, and we'll learn how to create lightning web components, and we'll learn how to create aura components and all of that. So we'll learn how to write business logic using Apex, and we'll learn how to write business logic using flows and all of that. So we do have something called objects to store the data and to retrieve the data from this database, right? So from this database, we use another language of Salesforce, another proprietary language of Salesforce, which is called as SOQL and SOSL. Okay, SOQL means Salesforce Object Query Language, and SOSL means Salesforce Object Search Language. Okay, using this SOQL and SOSL, so within our business logic, we'll be able to communicate with the database, and we can fetch the data, and we can push the data, and we can update the data in the database and all of the stuff, right? So this is what the MVC framework is all about. Is it clear? Is it clear, or do you have any questions so far? Right. Pavitra. Clear, right? Good. So okay, so now we know how, so we know the MVC framework, we know the Salesforce, the architecture of Salesforce platform, right? So multi-tenant cloud architecture and data driven development and the APIs on top of which the Salesforce built all of these things. Okay, so and we do have something called App Exchange as well. Okay, so see, this is all theory, guys. Okay, we'll see all of these things once we start working within our Salesforce real-time environment. Okay, so there is another thing called App Exchange. Okay, so what is this App Exchange? So with the help of App Exchange, what you can do is, what Salesforce has done is, as I told you, right? So on top of Salesforce platform, as I told you, on top of Salesforce platform, you can build any sort of custom applications, right? Salesforce has already given you Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, right? And many other applications, Service Cloud and many other applications. But as I told you, you can build any sort of applications, any sort of custom application that you want to build based on your business requirement. You can build those custom applications on Salesforce platform. Okay, so see, even though Salesforce has its own industry products, right? So as I told you, financial services cloud companies can use, banking companies can use financial services cloud, organizations can use education cloud, and so many other industry products are also there. Salesforce has created different products to cater each and every industry needs, right? So along with this Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and Marketing Cloud and all of that. But still, companies has to build their own custom applications most of the times, or maybe they have to customize the existing Sales Cloud, or customize the existing, the product that Salesforce has given to them, right, to meet their business requirements. Okay, so Salesforce has almost like 150,000 customers. That means Salesforce cannot build applications which can cater to all these 150,000 businesses, right? Salesforce cannot do that on its own, right? So it would definitely need many people coming into the ecosystem to build these type of applications and help the businesses to use those applications for their internal business purpose. Okay, so it is not just that people has to use only Salesforce products, like products that were created by Salesforce. So using the Salesforce platform, so external people, right? So any company can build an application and they can sell those applications on App Exchange. Okay. Okay, so there are some products like DocuSign. Okay, so I mean, like, so this product is used for digital signatures. Okay, signing on the documents digitally, right? So there are there are products for integrations, right? To integrating Salesforce with other applications and all of that. Okay, and so each and every industry will have their own set of requirements. Salesforce don't have products for each and every industry, but most of the industries Salesforce has the products, but not for all the industries. So then so many companies have came forward and make utilize, I mean, they have made use of the Salesforce platform, right, and built different applications, right? App 2, app 3, and all of that. And because of the metadata driven application architecture, right? So whatever functionality that they have built, they have packaged all of that functionality, and they've kept that functionality within this app exchange. Okay, app exchange is nothing but a marketplace where people can sell applications to the other businesses, and businesses can come and purchase applications from there. Okay, it is like a marketplace. So if you go to any bazaar, what you'll see, right? You'll have people who sell products, and you will have people who will come and buy the products, right? The same way, so this app exchange is a marketplace for Salesforce apps. That means anyone can build applications on Salesforce, and they can sell their applications to this app through this app exchange. So any business can come to this app exchange and purchase these applications, and they can just simply take that package and deploy that package into their Salesforce org, right? Into their Salesforce production org or sandbox org, and they can just simply use that for their business purpose. Okay, that is the beauty of app exchange. Okay, so why this app exchange? I mean, so how this app exchange became possible? How Salesforce has built this marketplace? Only so because of their metadata driven application development. So that means anyone can build applications on Salesforce platform, and they can just simply bring those applications and place those applications on app exchange, and anyone can come and take those applications and install that particular package, right? Application package in their own business Salesforce business org, and they can just simply start using it. Right. So there are many free applications, and there are many paid applications also available on App Exchange. Okay, so I believe now you know what App Exchange is all about. Okay, so now let me show that in real time environment, I would say. Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, right. Let me know if you can see my browser screen. Can you see my browser? Okay, right. So, okay, if you come to browser and if you search for something called App Exchange. Okay, so it'll it'll show you a lot of results, and if you go to the first result, it will take you to the Salesforce App Exchange. Okay, so this is the marketplace. So this is the place where you can just simply come and see what all applications that are there in here. Okay, so if you come down and see, there is something called Simo Scheduler. Okay, so what is this app? This app is all about online appointment booking, event, class scheduling, and all of that, right? So you can watch demo of this particular application, and you can see all the screenshots and everything from here, like what exactly this application is and all about. And if you feel like so you want to purchase this application, you can just simply purchase this application like $15 per user per month, and you can start using this within your Salesforce org, right? So the same way, there are many free applications also available, right? So if I come here, so based on products also we have on there are there will be some applications which run on top of Salesforce, Sales Cloud. There will be some applications which could run on top of Service Cloud, and there could be some applications which run on top of Marketing Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and all of that, right? So that way also you can see, if you go to product collections and if you open any of the clouds, you can see that what all collections that we have for that particular product and all of it. Right, if you come here, you can see Zoom info for Salesforce. So this is a product that which will help companies to identify more information about the prospects or the leads that that are that any business is generating, like who is that person and what is his email address. Sometimes you'll have only email address coming from the customer's end, but you may need phone number and all other stuff. You may need some kind of background related information about that particular business or something like that. So you may not aware of all of that particular information. Zoom info is a public directory which will have the data of all the companies that are there in the world. Okay, so they have created one product. So if you install that product into your, if you install that app into your Salesforce, you can, if you go on top of any lead, you'll be able to see more information about that lead, right? So apart from whatever information that they have submitted to become your lead, you can see many other information also related to that particular lead or company using this Zoom info app. Okay, the same way there are many other apps available, Demandbase, Clearbit, right? So each and every app will have its own set of what can I say, functionalities. Okay, so let's see. I mean, like, so let's see how many apps are there in our app marketplace. I'm not really sure how many are there, but see, yeah, these are the numbers, right? Sorry, 11 million, not 11 million. I would say, yeah, so 11 million, yeah, 11 million 465,477 installs were happened so far. So that means, these many times the companies have installed applications from App Exchange. That means, these many purchases have been done so far from the App Exchange marketplace, right? So, but if you just simply Google it, you'll get to know how many installs were happened so far, and how big is the App Exchange and all of that. So how many applications are there in App Exchange? I believe there are more than 6,000 applications in App Exchange, so that means more than 6,000 products. Okay, apart from whatever products that Salesforce has built, so many companies have came forward and they've built a lot of products to support the Salesforce ecosystem, right? So those products, you'll find it on the App Exchange. Clear? Or do you have any questions so far? Clear? Okay, good. So it's already more than 1.5 hours. So do you want me to cover the applications and objects today itself, or can we see it tomorrow? Right, guys, you can unmute yourself and let me know what exactly your thoughts are. Nikhil, Pavitra, Shweta. Pavitra, your voice is not audible.
No problem. If you cover also,
Shweta.
How long it will take, Ishwar?
It'll take another, definitely it'll take another half an hour to 40 minutes.
If it is fine, can we discuss it tomorrow?
Yeah, sure, not a problem. So in that case, so what I'll do is, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, I've stopped sharing my screen. Cannot minimize. Okay, right. So what I'll do is I'll give you one trailhead link. Okay, so just complete that particular badge. I believe all of you people have trailhead accounts. Okay, so I'm pasting that trailhead badge link in the comment box. Just simply complete that trailhead badge. Just give me a second. So I want everyone to complete this badge for tomorrow's class.
Okay.
Hey, we have Akash also here. Hi, Akash.
Hi, Ishwara. I joined in the middle, so I just don't disturb you guys.
Okay, right. Good. So yeah, so Akash, could you please introduce yourself? I mean, like, so last time, so we had the introduction session where, each and everyone has introduced themselves, like from which background they came from, and what are their experience. I mean, like, so what made them learn Salesforce, and how they got to know about Exalting Academy and all of that. So it would be great if you can just introduce
Yeah, sure,
yourself.
Ishwara.
And yeah.
So hi guys, hi Pavitra, hi Nikhil, hi Shweta. So basically, I'm a web developer. So I started my career as a web developer, and after 4 5 years of experience, I moved to Salesforce because I am working in marketing, and Salesforce has a very vast background. So it comes with services and very different applications you can use. So in my past experience, I have been working with the marketing team around 5 or 6 years. So I got to know that Salesforce has the automation and the tools that can help very much in the marketing. Uh, so I think I need to learn Salesforce. I already have the Pardot certification, and so I want to move with some more certification with Salesforce product. So that's what I thought of learning more. So yeah, this is all about me.
Good to know about you, Akash. So yeah, so Nikhil, Shweta, and Pavitra, it would be great if you people also can give some high level introduction about you people to Akash. So starting with Shweta. Yeah.
Hi Akash, this is Shweta.
Hi Shweta.
Yeah, I just completed my graduation in 2017 in pharmacy stream. There
Okay.
were stop put there, and there's nothing much more to tell about me. I got married, and I'm with 2 kids right now. So I'm planning for my masters in US for this August.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I thought to learn something, some technology, rather than to go by nothing. So I decided to learn data science actually, but I got to know that Salesforce is much more equal to data science. So Mr.
Correct.
Ishwar
Correct.
is a common friend of my husband. I got to know about him that he is teaching well in Salesforce. So I joined in Exaltlink. So that's why now I'm here.
Yeah, Salesforce will definitely benefit you, Shweta. So in my past, it's been around 8 or 9 years of experience I had in my life with the technology. So after 8 or 9 years, I think it would be good for me to move from a web developer to a more uh, Salesforce kind of person. So I think it would be beneficial for you also.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Akash.
Right, to meet you, Shweta.
Good, super. So Pavitra, your turn.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, you are audible,
Yes, Pavitra.
Pavitra.
Hi, Akash. I'm Pavitra. Actually, I am from agriculture background. I passed my graduation in 2021. From past
Okay,
years,
yeah.
I'm thinking about switching my career into IT. But now
Mhm.
I got the opportunity to switch my career into IT. So now
Okay,
I'm into the Salesforce through exactly Academy. As the Ishwar is my cousin, that's how I'm entering into this. It is all about nothing else.
great, Pavitra. Nice step too.
Good, Pavitra. So yeah, so Pavitra, so as she said, she has done her bachelor's in food technology. So yeah, so she want to move into IT, and yeah, so just started learning Salesforce. Okay, so now Nikhil, your turn.
Hi Akash, good to see you join today.
Hi, Nikhil.
Yeah, I have done my graduation in engineering, like CSC. I'm 2017 pass out, and I am into IT sector. Like around, I have 4.5 years of experience, and I'm into Salesforce. It's been around 1.5 years of experience. So I'm into the administrations. I'm into administration now. So I'm like interested in moving to development part. So that's the reason I've joined this session. So that's where I'm going forward.
Great step. Yeah, good to see you are
Good.
moving with the developer thing. So yeah, I'm here for the same.
Okay, good. So right. So yeah. So Akash, if you don't know, so Nikhil is also from Gus. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright.
So he's an admin. Yeah, he is a
Okay.
Salesforce. Yeah, he's one of our Salesforce admins. Okay, right. So good. And see, Akash, I mean, like, so I mean, I believe you were not, I'm like, you were not there yesterday, right? So in the orientation class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shishra,
So yes. I mean, like, so we haven't gone through any kind of technical session or something like that. It is much like, introduction to all other people who are there in this particular course. So that's it. I mean, like, so how I want all of you people, to treat one each other is like, family. Okay. So,
yes.
and yeah, so we should not judge anyone based on their inabilities or something like that. And I want that type of culture to be in place wherein one can offer their help to other person without any kind of judging or something like that. Why? Because each and every one is from a different background, right? So and yeah, so and everyone will have their own set of level of understanding towards things. And on top of it, so if anyone have any questions, they should never feel bad about asking those questions. Why? Because there is no question that is a simple question, or there is no question that is a tough question or something like that, right? So if you don't know, it's a tough question. If you know, that's a simple question, even it is a tougher one or even it is a simple one. Okay, so that kind of attitude we are building up here within this particular small group. Okay, so and the way we approach towards learning things is, so we'll learn something in the class, and then so you people will be given some kind of hands-on exercise, and along with that hands-on exercise, so we'll have scrum sessions. Okay, so whether on daily basis or maybe on twice a day or something like that, so based on the concepts that your people are learning. Okay, so the scrum sessions are like the sessions where you'll be given one case study, and you have to implement things on top of that particular thing, right? So yeah, so along with hands-on exercises are like the simple things that whatever you have learned, you'll just simply go and practice on your own. But these scrum sessions are like so a real business case study that was given to you, and how you will be building on top of that particular business case study. Okay, so we'll do some kind of role play where someone has to be a team leader for few days, and some other person has to be like a team leader for some other few days, and he or she has to look after all the submissions from the other people, and you people have to come up with an application that has been built properly. Okay, so for this case, what we generally do is we'll take some projects from the trailhead, and we'll take some projects from the external sources as well, and we'll work on them accordingly. Okay, so and I know you personally, and you are also a good human being, right? So yeah, so let's carry on with let's carry on with the same kind of the culture, right? So that is needed for this particular group. Okay,
Sure.
right, guys. So before we leave for the day, so let me recap what all things we have discussed, right? So we have seen so what is a CRM, right? So, and then we have seen what is Salesforce and what all products that we have in Salesforce, right? So, and then after that, we have seen the architecture of Salesforce and what all major important things on which the Salesforce platform is built. And along with that, we have seen what is App Exchange. Okay, so these are the things that we have discussed in our today's class. So I have shared one trailhead badge link here in the comment box, right? So along with this, so I'll be sharing this badge link in our WhatsApp as well. So just try to complete this particular badge by tomorrow's class. Okay, so whenever you find some time, just complete this badge by tomorrow. You are joining the class. Okay, the first thing that I'll be doing in the tomorrow's class is I'll be checking your trailhead profiles. Okay, so please make sure that you are completing this. Do you have any questions for today?
No, sure, nothing from my side.
Okay, right, guys.
No issue.
Okay, good. So Pavitra and Shweta, you also should
Hello.
speak out.
Hello.
Yes, Pavitra. Yes, Pavitra.
You said about that multi-tenant cloud architecture. In that, for any instance, there is a common facility for all those orders usually. If
Sorry,
some are having
Pavitra, your voice is not audible properly. Yeah, Pavitra. Yes. Go ahead.
You said about multi-tenant cloud development, huh? So in that, for any instance, along with those shared environment, everyone has a common facility for all those things now.
Yeah, yes,
So
that's
if
right.
some are having access to the common facilities, some are not having the access to the common facility, what things will happen?
Okay. I got your question. See, the facility means, so let me tell you, so it is like a data center, Pavitra. Okay. So yeah, in a data center, you'll have 10,000 customers. An instance is nothing but a data center. Okay. So where, at least 10,000 customer Salesforce org will be placed in that particular data center. Okay. So what happens, right? So for each and every Salesforce org that that businesses owns, so they'll have same kind of resources available for them. Same kind of resources means same kind of bandwidth means the internet connectivity, right? So the same kind of computing power. Okay, so maybe I'm a small business, okay, with 100 customers. Okay, so 100 users means I have purchased only 100 licenses from Salesforce. Okay, there is another customer who have 10,000 licenses. Okay, so but so both me and the 10,000 customer licenses company will have the same kind of computing power and the same kind of functionality and the same kind of what can I say, the power that Salesforce is offering. Okay, there is no differentiation between all of them. So if just think of any apartment building, you'll have 5 or 10 flats, or maybe sometimes you'll have 100 flats, right? So do you think someone from the first floor will have a bigger corridor, or someone from the first floor can take half of the corridor and just leave the other place for all other people? So they cannot do it like that, right? So common places will always remain same for everyone, right? The same way. The lift is also a common thing, right? So everyone will have the same kind of facility. The same way water facility. So everyone will have the same kind of facility. So what the apartment people will do generally, so they'll keep some kind of limits on each and everything, right? So just because you have those facilities, that doesn't mean that you can use all those facilities for yourself, right? So just because the corridor is there, you cannot just occupy the whole corridor and keep whatever things you want to keep in that corridor, just because that is in front of your home, or that is in front of your house. You cannot do that. Why? Because it will create problem for other people, right? So the same way, just because, so water facility is given as a common thing for all the people. You cannot use more water than all other people are using, right? So there will be a limit for everything. So they'll keep some kind of limit, like, so you can use only 1,000 liters of water a day. Okay, if you are using more than 1,000 liters of water a day, so you'll be charged a little more extra. Okay, so or you'll be moved to some other or you'll be asked to move to some other place, right? So or you will be asked to vacate that particular flat and go to some other place. So those type of things will happen, right? The same way, so Salesforce in multi-tenant cloud architecture also, even though the resources are shared between the businesses equally, okay, so no business should use extra resources in order to make use of whatever common things that are available, right, within that particular instance. So there are limits on each and everything. So they have to use within those particular limits. And if you want to have extra limits or something like that, then you have to purchase some extra things from Salesforce, so that you'll be moved to some another instance where all other people are having the same kind of setup or something like that. Clear? Is it clear?
Clear.
Right, good. Any more questions? Guys?
No, Ishwara.
Okay, right. Good then. Good then. Okay, so let's catch up tomorrow. So make sure that you are joining by 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Bye-bye. Have a lovely day.
Bye, Ishwara. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.